All right, guys, it's Wave MMA here, and you know what? I've got a fucking. I'm irritated. I am dumbfounded. I am kerfuffled. I am annoyed with Dustin Poirier fans, and I am annoyed with Dustin Poirier. And I wish I had uploaded something earlier to talk about this before their fight, because here's the deal, and nobody wants to admit this, but this is just a fact. Benoit was never winning that fight. He was never winning that fight. And Dustin knew that. His team knew that. This is a this is a conspiracy at this point, right? I mean, come on. You're telling me Dustin deserves a title shot off of a ranked 12 win? That's ridiculous. I've been arguing with people online all week about this, or I guess since Saturday. I mean, it's ridiculous. Dustin, he's a great fighter. There's no denying that. I'm not a Dustin hater, right? He's not my favorite fighter, whatever. But even if my favorite fighter, even if Connor came back, if Connor came back and beat Benoit Saint Denis, nobody would be, shouting, give him a title shot, except for probably Dana. Uh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, it's so dumb. It is unbelievable, right? And I, I don't know. This is just a quick little rant. I think people are a little bit quick to jump to it. I think it's wild that Dustin's calling for it. And here's the other thing: people are talking about how, oh well, all the other guys are tied up, right? Gaethje is fighting Holloway, Oliveira is fighting Arman. Um, all right, right? Yeah, cool. I know people don't want to hear this. I don't even want to see this fight more personally. This fight is way less exciting. Gamrot's more deserving, right? I mean, he also beat a low ranked guy. He didn't finish him, but he has wins over Arman. I mean, he technically has a win over Arman. On paper, he has a win over Arman. I'm not saying make that fight. I don't think you make that fight. But I don't think you give Islam a fight in the meantime. And here's the other thing, like, and it's the same thing when Volk took the rematch against Islam, or when he fought him the first time. People just want to see Islam lose. Like, they want to see him forced to be active more than, he should be or will be or whatever. But they're just playing into Islam's hands when they do that. Because here's what's gonna happen. Islam's gonna fight Dustin, right? Islam's gonna fight Dustin, whatever. If this fight gets announced, they're gonna fight, and then Islam's either gonna call for Leon, he's gonna sit out for a while based on damage, or I mean, it's possible he fights Gaethje or Charles, but it's unlikely, or Arman. It's unlikely he fights any of them. I mean, he should be fighting Gaethje next, and it's dumb that Gaethje took the Holloway fight, and also, I mean, it's wild, right? Like, didn't Gaethje take that fight on the pretense that he would have to wait too long to fight Islam, and now Islam's already calling for Dustin, right? Like, does nobody else see that? It's crazy. It is crazy. Um, yeah. So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this. If anybody decides to. I'd like to hear some Dustin Poirier fans try to defend this blatant bullshit, right? I mean, Dustin Poirier, he's a great fighter. He's had two title shots. Before Benoit, he was coming off of a knockout loss to another contender. And like people can bring up him being a superstar. He's not bigger than Charles. He's not much bigger than Justin, right? And he hasn't had a quality win. I mean, his other win, he's 2-2 in his last four. His other wins over Chandler, right? This the same people that are gonna say that now they're gonna say that that's a really good win are the same people who were saying Chandler is a fraud like 2 years ago, and he is. I mean, he's really good. I love Chandler, but he's not at the belt level, right? He's not at Islam's level. He's not at Charles' level. He's not at Dustin or Justin's level, right? He probably isn't at Arman's level. He might be at Gamrot's level. He might chin him just based on the wrestling. I think that's favorable for him stylistically, but even against Benny, like that's, ugh, against Benil, that is not the safest fight. So, look, here's what I want to see the UFC do, right? I want to see, and okay, you know what? Before I even go on to this, the other thing that could happen with Dustin is that Dustin could do damage on the feet to Islam. I mean, Dustin is the kind of fighter that's going to take some shots to throw some shots, and it seems like in his last, I don't know how many wins, he's lost the first round, right? So, and like that's the other thing. Like I feel like if Islam's hitting you, Islam hits fucking hard, man. Like people don't want to admit that. That dude hits hard. And if Islam hits you with the same stuff that Benoit was hitting him with, and you know drops him or gets him to the ground, if he gets him to the ground, it's over. Dustin won't survive on the ground with Islam, man. He won't. And even if it's not over in that first round, man, as soon as the second round starts, Dustin's gonna come out and he's gonna, you know, he's gonna look better on the feet, but he's gonna start pulling guillotines. He's gonna start doing dumb things. Like he's not gonna follow his game plan. You know, it would be great. It would be great to see Dustin finally get a belt after all this time. Whether you're a hater or not, you have to admit it would be nice to see some sort of justification. But he has to have some of the most delusional fans to ever grace the sport. I mean, they're right up there with Conor fans to be calling for a title fight after that. And beyond that, it's crazy to me that nobody's calling Islam out. Like, does this not feel kind of like dodgy? Like taking the easiest fight out of the three of them, and then again, he's just gonna go for Leon, right? Most likely. And if he doesn't, I mean, that'd be a surprise. But if he doesn't, then you know what else is he gonna do? Like, think about how Islam even got here. Islam didn't get here off a top ranked opponent. Islam got here off of a win over, was it? It was Green, I believe. Bobby Green. I'm pretty sure that was his last fight. I'd have to look back. Um, or over Hooker. But I mean, they were low ranked at the time, and I mean, they kind of still are. Especially Bobby Green getting absolutely flatlined by Jalen Turner. And beyond that, you know, also I kind of knew it from the beginning. I knew as soon as they said that Dustin was fighting Benoit, that he was doing this on purpose, right? I mean, look at the prospects you have right now. Look at who you have right now that didn't have a fight. I mean, especially a guy like Jalen Turner, whatever, right? He's a monster, man, and he's a bad matchup for Dustin, right? He's a prospect. Who else do you have? Who else do you have in there? You can't have Gamrot fight him. They're training partners, right? Um, you can't have and also like it's weird that they became training partners when they did, but I'm leave that for another day, right? You can't have what you got Fiziev, right? I mean, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird. I feel like Dustin's about to do the most weaseliest shit the lightweight division has ever seen with his ugly ass fucking button down t-shirts. And you know, on a side note, I mean, my God, does anybody actually like this? It's wild. But that's besides the point. That's neither here nor there. The point is, you know, Dustin, he's a great fighter, and he's gonna go down as a great. But he needs another couple wins if he's gonna see another title shot. He needs at least one win over a top guy, right? Because he has a loss to Charles, he has a loss to Justin. He's 1-1, but I mean, he just lost to Justin, right? And Islam's not Habib, and they don't fight the same, and I think that would be dumb to say. But Dustin clearly lost to Habib as well, and I mean he pretty relatively dominantly lost. I mean even Justin can say he had a close fight. I mean again, not really close, but he did better. Like he even can say that against Khabib, and he has that wrestling background. Dustin, I don't know what it is with him, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know how people don't see it. It's wild to me. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. Let me know in the comments what you guys think they're gonna do with it. Um, let me know if you want me to, or if you want to see me. Well, you know, I'm gonna make one anyways. I'm gonna do a little video for who his next opponent should be. Um, right now, off the top of my head, I do think it's either Turner or I mean, he is still relatively high ranked, so give him. It's tough because he's fought everybody in the top five. He should be fighting maybe Fazeev. Like if he wins over Fazeev, then I would then consider like okay maybe he is ready. Um, or yeah, I mean you can't fight Gamrot. Gamrot's top five now. Fucking Scamrot is up there. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. I know that I'm gonna get some hate for this one, so yeah, take it, take it 100%. Come at me. I want to hear what you guys have to say. All right, I will see you in the next video.